Hello again everybody, and a very warm welcome back to the channel. Today we are taking a look at JustFlight's latest aeroplane, releasing imminently for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Here she is in one of the Australian paints, the PA-38 Tomahawk, coming very soon to MSFS. It's going to be released soon, a date to be confirmed, at a price of £29.99. So take that into the currency for wherever you reside. Hit like, hit subscribe. We're going to dive into the details, have a chat, and I'll be sharing my thoughts with you throughout the video. But share yours too down in the comments section below. You join me in Mount Beauty Airport, South Australia, and we're positioned here at this beautiful general aviation airfield with this nice paint scheme, one of the many that are included, including two British Airways liveries from the old BA Flying Club as well, which is quite nice. And we're going to take it for a little spin, explore some of the details on the ground as well, including those tie-downs toggleable via the EFB, and dive into some of the details for the aeroplane. Of course, the version that I've got is a pre-release, so some of the features may change prior to release or be tweaked slightly. And starting with the EFB, we've got the usual JustFlight EFB here, so you can import your SimBrief flight plan and all the rest of it. Really neat. And you can have a look at a nice big juicy map as well, if you wish. There we are, positioned just south of Albury. And on the aircraft tab, gives you multiple options for maintenance. You can have a look at the warnings, you can turn wear and tear on to realistic as well, and you can start your walk around. Close the doors via one switch, and you can change in the aircraft options here various settings. So I've got no GPS set at the moment. If I want GNS 530 dual, I can select that. Single GNS 530. TDS GTN XI for those of you who like to use that. Or no GPS. Nav2 OBS as well is here. You can disable that if you wish, and if you don't want an ADF, you can toggle that off as well. So you can have a float about and kind of work out what you want in your own configuration of this aeroplane. For now, we'll get rid of the tie-downs and the chocks and the pitot covers. One of the options that I've toggled is charts, so you can have a look at your normal procedures and you can work through your pre-flight checks and your various checklists, which is a nice way to learn the aeroplane as well. And you can toggle that on and off in the EFB. You'll probably notice on the ground as well that you can't actually move the rudder pedals left and right, and that's trying to replicate that of the real aeroplane, which is something actually I quite like in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Too many aeroplane add-ons, you can move the rudder pedals around, when in reality these smaller GA aircraft, they've got kind of like a linked steering system, so when you're parked up you shouldn't really be able to move them that much, and if you do you might break the linkages and things. But a really nice cockpit environment, and they've done a really good job with this little custom plate there for our aeroplane. We're going to get the engine started, taxi to the runway, and go for a little flight. The aim for today is to try and climb nice and high and force a spin with a spin recovery as well, which is something that they've worked hard at trying to realistically replicate with this aeroplane, being of course a T-tailed aircraft as well. So that should be quite fun. Okie dokie, so I've hidden the yoke, battery on, quick little shot of clear prop. On the outside, ticking away 1000 RPM quite nicely. Very gentle sounds, but the sounds are really quite nice as well. Now we can deflect the rudders because we're moving. Gonna put along, look at that, bouncing along the rough grass. Really good. Make sure the wheels are straight because they actually haven't straightened up. There we are. Park brake set. Get it to about 1000 RPM again, and we're going to go through some of our checks. So ground checks, park brakes on. $1800 magnetos. Back to both. Vacuum's good. All temperatures, pressures, carb heat, check. Trim set. If you want to stow the charts, you can do so by just clicking there, which is really nice. And we'll set one stage of flaps. So we'll have a little look into the circuit, although we are surrounded by a valley here. And then line up. .53 knots is roughly our takeoff speed for this, and a little bit of back pressure on the yoke to climb. Short field, hence why the first notch of flaps with the trees at the end. So, brakes off. Power set, engine TCPs are in the green, speeds alive. Pulling back. And away we go. Really cool aeroplane. So one of the characteristics of this aircraft is its heavier feeling for its flying controls. Get it flaps away. And it was sort of an aeroplane that was developed to help a transition into students that would otherwise eventually become airline pilots. So the controls on this noticeably are heavier than some of these other kind of trainer aircraft like the Cessna 152 in the sim. We're going to kind of just trim to climb around 70 knots, best rate flaps up, and we're already 1,000 foot above sea level anyway here with the mountains. And one of the things that I've selected is auto fuel trimming. So the fuel tanks will switch left and right automatically for me to just kind of relieve some of the workload from what I need to be able to do during the flights as I learn the aeroplane. As we're flying, with realistic wear and tear switched on, you can even sort of trigger realistic warnings as well. You'll notice that the condition of the aircraft might be affected, and depending on how you fly it, and the hours of the aeroplane will slowly build as well. So at some point you will need to service the aeroplane via walk around, condition and overhaul. So it gives you the opportunity to kind of maintain the aircraft, which is really neat. Okay, so 5,000 feet, I've already done kind of my hazel checks, moved into a bit more of a clearer central space in the valley, and we're going to trigger the stall, and as it starts to stall, going to go into full left rudder. And I've got the carb heat on as well. Here we go. So we're in a spin. To get out of it, I've got to go full controls the opposite direction to work out of it. And then gently away. Not the smoothest exit. But it's great to have an aeroplane now that behaves quite nicely with a spin, requiring us to work on our spin recovery techniques and things as well, because up till now I mean, that felt very fluid, whereas usually in a lot of aeroplanes they start to kind of slide around somewhat. Last bit is flying the approach and landing. Final approach speed for this, we're looking at about 62 knots with full flaps deployed, and because of the tightness of this valley we're going to be flying a bit of a quirky downwind leg, a left downwind leg. And the winds here are calm, so I could land the opposite direction to where we've taken off, but I want to kind of test the feeling of it in a bit more of a tighter descending turn. Never been around this little part of Australia before, but it's really nice in the sim. That's full flap. And working the turn to reach that gap in the trees. Just there. Over that big ridge. Well, I wanted to come this way, a little bit trickier. Looking ahead. Bingo. Gently on the brakes. Really good fun, this aeroplane. Just from the outside, taxiing back in, we'll get rid of those flaps. And you can see those little oleos bouncing around. A little bit of dirt spraying underneath there as well, which is really nice to see. Cracking bit of fun. And there you have it, folks. The PA-38 Tomahawk for Microsoft Flight Simulator coming very soon. And from our friends at JustFlight as well. The links for which will be in the description. It will take you over to their website. Hit like, hit subscribe, share your thoughts in the comments below. And I'll see you in a live stream very soon. Thanks for watching. Take care.